Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. In this session, we'll be discussing from the 4th verse of the 10th chapter of the 1st canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Kamam Vavarsha Parjanyaha Sarva Kama Dughamahi Sishichuhu Sma Vrajan Gavaha Payasodhaswatir Muda. The meaning of this verse is, during the reign of Maharaj Yudhishthira, the cloud showered all the water that people needed, and the earth produced all the necessities of man in profusion. Due to its fatty milk bag and cheerful attitude, the cow used to moisten the grazing ground with milk. So Srila Prabhupada explains very nicely in the purport here. The basic principle of economic development is centered on land and cows. The necessities of human society are food grains, fruits, milk, minerals, clothing, wood, etc. One requires all these items to fulfill the material needs of the body. Certainly, one does not require flesh and fish or iron tools and machinery. During the regime of Maharaj Yudhishthira, all over the world there were regulated rainfalls. Rainfalls are not in the control of the human being. The heavenly king Indradeva is the controller of rains, and he is the servant of the Supreme Lord Krishna. When the Lord is obeyed by the king and the people under the king's administration, there are regulated rains from the horizon, and these rains are the causes of all varieties of production on the land. Prabhupada is explaining how land and cows are important for economic development of the human being. So land will give all kinds of produce provided there is regulated rainfalls when people obey the Lord's laws. Not only do regulated rains help ample production of grains and fruits, but when they combine with astronomical influences, there is ample production of valuable stones and pearls. See, even pearls which they mine from the bottom of the ocean or precious stones from the earth, that is also produced by proper astronomical influences. It's a great science. It is not some mythology as foolish people think. Grains and vegetables can sumptuously feed a man and animals, and a fatty cow delivers enough milk to supply a man sumptuously with vigor and vitality. Milk is described by Srila Prabhupada as the miracle food because it contains all the necessary nutrition required for a human being. Now, sometimes people wrongly think that a cow gives milk for its calf. Why do human beings interfere? It's not interference. The cow is made or created by the Supreme Lord. Krishi Go Raksha. It is to be protected by the civilized human beings so that the excess milk that the cow gives is taken by the human beings who protect the cow, and that milk nourishes the humans with the necessary nutrition for good health and most importantly for developing finer brain tissues to understand spiritual subject matter. This is a confidential thing that people do not know. Cow's milk nourishes our brain tissues to understand what is Vedic knowledge, what is spiritual knowledge. And the cow necessarily gives more milk. Of course, when the cow is exploited, then the cow may not give enough milk. But a cow which is properly cared for and properly looked after, it always gives more milk than what the calf requires. So the excess milk is supposed to be taken by the human being for his own need. Human beings require cow's milk for their own nourishment, especially nourishing the brain tissues to understand what is God. If there is enough milk, enough grains, enough fruit, enough cotton, enough silk, enough jewels, why do people need cinemas, houses of prostitution, slaughterhouse, etc.? Prabhupada is raising this point, that people are mad after all this so-called entertainment and rubbish nonsense. But actually it is not required for a human being who understands the real goal of life, to lead a healthy life, progressing spiritually towards the ultimate goal. You don't require all this cinema and prostitution and slaughterhouse. What is the need of artificial luxurious life of cinema, cars, radio, flesh, hotels? Has this civilization produced anything but quarreling individually and nationally? Prabhupada is raising this point. All modern development is only in the wrong direction. Anartha, it's called anartha. Unnecessary things are being produced in plenty. And on the one side. On the other side, there is apparent scarcity of food grains, scarcity of milk, scarcity of produce of different natural produce, scarcity of rain, you see. Either ativrishti or anavrishti. There is too much rain which spoils the crop, or there is scarcity of rain which does not give proper crops. The land will not give proper crops. So all this is because of sinful activities, because of violating the laws of God, because of a godless civilization, misdirected civilization, misdirected. So Prabhupada is pointing this out as the Acharya of our time. He's pointing out this defect in the modern way of living. Has this civilization enhanced the cause of equality and fraternity by sending thousands of men into a hellish factory and war fields at the whims of a particular man? These rulers, they have all kinds of wrong ideas that let's have factories where men work and earn money and try to enjoy artificial entertainment systems. Factories, Prabhupada says, is another name for hell, because the conditions are very, very bad. It is not in harmony with nature to mass produce so many unnecessary things in the name of advancement of civilization, in the name of development. It is said here that the cows used to moisten the pasturing land with milk because their milk bags were fatty and the animals were joyful. When the cow is happy, when is the cow happy? When it is nicely protected by the human beings. Go Raksha. Then they give plenty of milk. Do the cows not require proper protection for a joyful life by being fed with sufficient quantity of grass on the field? Why should men kill cows for their selfish purposes? This is a major defect of the Western countries. They rear cows, but ultimately they kill them when they stop giving milk. So cow should never be killed. Cow is mother because we drink her milk. It's mother. So mother should not be killed. Why should man not be satisfied with grains, fruits and milk which combined together can produce hundreds and thousands of palatable dishes? Why are there slaughterhouses all over the world to kill innocent animals? These are some of the defects of the modern civilization that Prabhupada is pointing out as the Acharya. Maharaj Parikshit, the grandson of Maharaj Yudhishthira, while touring his vast kingdom, saw a black man attempting to kill a cow. The king at once arrested the butcher and chastised him sufficiently. This is the way to rule the kingdom, that nobody should even attempt to harm a cow. Cow should be given full protection. Should not a king or executive head protect the lives of the poor animals who are unable to defend themselves? Is this humanity? Are not the animals of a country citizens also? Praja, the word praja is used. Praja means those who take birth in a particular land. So even the animals, they also require protection. Why are the innocent animals allowed to be butchered in organized slaughterhouses? Therefore, in contrast with the modern, advanced, civilized form of government, an autocracy like Maharaj Yudhishthira's is by far superior to a so-called democracy. This democracy is not at all proper form of government. Because Maharaj Yudhishthira was perfectly ruling as the king of the entire world. We are all creatures of material nature. In the Bhagavad Gita it is said that Lord himself is a seed-giving father and material nature is the mother of all living beings in all shapes. Sarva yonishu kaunteya murtaya sambhavanti aha tasam brahma mahadyonir aham bija pratapita. Krishna says, I am the seed-giving father and material nature is the source of birth for all living beings. Mother nature. So, this is the way the world is created. So, Krishna is the father, Mother Nature is the mother of all creatures. Everyone has a right to live. We should respect their right to live under the protection of the Supreme Lord as Father and material nature as Mother in this material world. Thus, Mother material nature is enough foodstuff for both animals and for men by the grace of the Almighty Father, Sri Krishna. We don't have to produce anything. We simply should not interfere with Krishna's arrangement. That's all. Then there will be plenty for everyone. Animals and humans. Everyone will have plenty. The human being is the elder brother of all other living beings. He is endowed with intelligence more powerful than animals for realizing the course of nature and the indications of the Almighty Father. Human beings have developed intelligence. They can understand what is the design of this creation, that there is a creator, that is God, Krishna, and he has got a plan, he has got a purpose behind this creation that is understood by intelligent people who make proper inquiries. Human civilization should depend on the production of material nature without artificially attempting economic development. There is no need for any economic development plan, as people are nowadays trying to figure out. There is no need, because there is plenty in material nature for everyone. There is plenty. So, the purpose of this creation is ultimately self-realization by utilizing whatever is provided for naturally without any difficulty, simply by following the laws of God, simply by following that. So, without being guided by these enlightened self-realized souls, without being guided by the authoritative scriptures, we will be misled into thinking that there is some scarcity, or there is some need for economic development, or there is need for some artificial things which are being manufactured for the sake of entertainment, for the sake of reducing the people toiling in the factories, reducing their labor or their difficulty. All this is unnecessary. If we simply follow properly, everything will be perfect. That is the lesson to be learned from this description in the Bhagavatam. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.